Alright, so, I get ready to walk over here or something. Check on it. I wasn't going to, but I can. Alright. How much? What about the ones off the board? The other 5.
Oh, wait, not, oh, man. Oh, yeah, I can go. Oh, no, wait, no.
Either you. Okay. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Of course you did.
Let's think about that.
You did the whole.
I know, I did the whole thing. And she said,
Yeah. You did a
no, that's
5?
20 minutes.
So it's 2 minutes ago. Yeah, right now.
Alright, so. Yeah.
And then 5.
Alright, Ethan. Where are the stocks and snakes? The stocks and snakes are little numerals.
Oh.
You're the one who's. You're the one.
No, I still did. I felt good. I did.
Stock. Oh, now look at yours.
Now I know what it is.
So tell me what you thought was the stock.
I was thinking.
Show me your homework.
I was
Show me what
thinking.
you
I was
thought was
thinking
stock.
of prefix.
No. Show me your homework and tell me what you thought was
I
stock.
thought the prefix. I thought the prefix.
So you thought all those names, those formulas you wrote down?
I don't know the difference, but I know how to do it.
I don't understand.
I mean, I'll give you credit. We had deep doo-doo.
I don't know the difference.
If you think that is what you were supposed
I
to
looked at the games some more. I understand a little bit.
I don't know the difference.
do. Okay, you're in the same boat he is.
Yeah, see?
Are running it right or something.
I used to know.
Stock system is this. Okay?
I know this was
Okay. This is what you already have. I already gave you the formulas. All you did was rewrite the questions. Okay? So you had to write it for the wrong numerals. I give you credit, just like I did. Because you did try to do your homework.
I know the difference. I don't know the difference if I know how to do it.
The 5 off the board. Yeah, he just rewrote the formula. He rewrote the question.
I was looking, no wonder. I was looking.
That's all you did.
That's all I was looking. I told you I didn't look at yours, bro.
You got to start doing homework. Keep forgetting. Hold on.
I'll put my older.
I am almost positive I sat beside you yesterday in the auditorium and you had an iPhone. I'm pretty sure they have an app called Reminds.
Oh.
Reminders. I use it all the time. I'm pretty sure if I walk over to my desk, I've put a reminder there to pick up a cake, to stop at the drugstore tomorrow afternoon, to call on a prescription. I have no less than 3 reminders in there just for myself today and tomorrow alone. I am very certain that at the end of class today, if you put a reminder that says Miss Wall gave you homework, and set a time. When are you going to be at home today?
I need to do that.
He's never.
He's never home.
You actually can do a thing that like would remind like when you arrive at home or like,
Yes, you can set it when you arrive at home at a destination. You can have it go off when you get home. It will remind you to do homework. You need to do that. You need to try harder. All right, so we got some work to do with Ethan over there with his.
I know the difference. I don't know the differences, but I know how to do it.
No, you don't. Stop saying you do, because you don't. All right. I think I have the answers.
I knew it was a trip out.
I don't know. Let me see. Maybe I wrote the answers down for this one. I cannot swear I did. Nah, it's blank. Never mind. Scratch that. Completely blank. All right. Which one do you want to do first? Olive or stock? All right, stock.
Stop.
All right, we started which one?
2.
2. Carbon 2 oxide.
Wait, what?
Carbon, Roman numeral 2, oxide.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, forgot.
And I'll go back and work any of these. Just check the answers. Correct them if you want to correct them. Number 3, sulfur, Roman numeral 4, oxide. Number 4, sulfur, Roman numeral 6, oxide. 5, nitrogen, Roman numeral 1, oxide. 6, nitrogen, Roman numeral 2, oxide. 7, nitrogen, Roman numeral 3, oxide. 8, nitrogen, Roman numeral 4, oxide. 9 is the exact same answer. 8 and 9 are both nitrogen, Roman numeral 4, oxide. Yep. Number 10, nitrogen, 5, oxide. 11 is phosphorus, 3, chloride. And 12 is phosphorus, 5, chloride.
5 and 6.
5 is nitrogen 1 oxide, and 6 is nitrogen 2 oxide.
Oh, and what was, you said, I know this, I thought you started at 2 when you started?
Yes?
What was for, because you said 2 was 2, and what was 1?
I didn't. It was carbon 4 oxide, because the homework was 2 through 12.
Those 2. Oh, yeah.
Sulfur
my bad.
4 oxide. So I only called out the ones I assigned. Questions? Which ones do I need to work and stop?
So that's right, even if it wasn't just.
If it was reduced, you have to figure out what it was originally. That's the challenge in stocks. Yes. Do I need to work any of those for you? For you.
I did it. I just didn't do it.
That's the point. You have to be able to do the Roman numerals also.
I don't think I
This
was.
would have quizzes on tomorrow.
Yes. And I'm telling you now, there's a section that says, write these in stock, write these in old. And then there's a section that says, write the formulas for these. You don't get a choice tomorrow. I'm telling you, you have to do them this way.
So
is
you
it
just went
prefix
over
the
or stop.
Prefix is the old.
So you just went over with stop.
Yes.
So you taught us the new first and then.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Stock is the nuisance. That's the one we use predominantly.
That's why we were confused because you taught us the new way first.
That's the way we're going to use 90% of the time.
I thought low-key like.
We're-
Right, that's what
You're not going to use the
It was
prefixes.
so
right?
easy.
For example, this is why we will not use the prefixes. All right? In a few minutes.
Wait, don't we have to know the 1 through 10?
Yep. I'm just illustrating something. Tell me if that name is right.
Aluminum trichloride.
Tell me if that's right.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, isn't it?
No. Wait, I don't think.
It should be trialuminum chloride.
No?
No.
Right, it's.
That is right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I've heard it's good.
No, because.
I've heard that it should be trialuminum chloride.
Why?
No,
No, why? There's not 3.
There's no prefix on that.
That's right. There should be no tri on the aluminum because there's not 3 aluminums. I agree. That is wrong.
I found the first one.
But it's still not right.
It's still not right.
Shoot.
This is still wrong every day of the week.
Oh, is it
You need
because
a Roman numeral,
the
don't
3
you?
is in front of it?
Mm-mm.
Because
The 3 has
The 3 is going just with the L.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
You don't have a number after the A.
The 3 is the oxidation number from the aluminum, and it's going.
It's the loading cell. So
Aluminum doesn't have the
It's
substrate
together.
for chloride.
Has nothing to do with the 3. Y'all have completely missed the boat with the 3.
it's the IID.
Dang it.
ID. It's the ID.
Has nothing to do with IDE. Has nothing to do with the 3.
What is the
I don't
question?
know.
There's
I'm
a
trying to find out what's wrong with this.
there's nothing to
What's
go
wrong
with the
with
A after the A now.
Oh, because the chlorine is 2.
Has nothing to do with being binary.
Oh, no.
It's not because it's binary. It has nothing to do with the 3.
Let me look up there in my notes.
I don't know.
I know it's wrong.
You don't need it.
Do you know where your notes start from yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the very first thing we wrote down yesterday.
Chlorella
I
is two
wasn't
non.
Oh, is it with the stocks? Savannah, 2 non-metals can be named with the.
Can be names that will stop.
It's not.
Okay.
Oh, it's not.
Oh,
It's
ionic can
2.
only be
It's
named with
one
the stock.
Ionic can only be named with the stock system. This is a what kind of compound? It is ionic. It has a metal. If it has a metal, it cannot use the prefix system. So as soon as you slap a prefix in there, it's wrong. Okay, so in a minute when we start mingling these, y'all are gonna be like, I like the prefixes, because well, bring me some prefixes. And y'all are gonna start slapping it, oh yeah, bring me some trichlorides. And I'm going down your test paper on Friday. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Minus 22. And y'all are gonna come back on Monday and go, can I do corrections? And the answer is no. Okay, so why have we spent all this time with stock system?
Because we can do it both ways.
That's the way you gotta name 90% of the compounds.
Oh.
You can't name them with the prefixes. Okay, yeah, it's easier. Yeah, people like them, but you can't name them that way. So we have to learn how to name it with the stock system.
We can't.
You can't. Welcome to chemistry. And I haven't even taught the exceptions yet. Wait till you get there.
Oh.
Okay?
Just know how to cheer something, don't worry.
It's the joy of the class. Okay?
You know, so we used to be in chorus, and I used to hear you from the other end of the room saying stuff like, "Why would you idiots put blah 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 blah?" And I'll look over into your room and be like, "Oh, we're gonna have to do that in 2 years."
Yo.
Y'all to come to physical science someday. I had a complete meltdown over pulleys a year ago. I thought it was going to happen yesterday with static friction. I don't know how. Just don't know some days. All right, so when you look at your prefixes on your homework, all right, look at question 2. This shouldn't have been too hard. Oh, I need to see your homework, by the way. You got homework? Right here?
Do I?
Yeah, do you?
And the
Go ahead and do
the
yours
5
while I'm
questions
standing
from class.
Oh, and you missed the quiz. So
I'll.
take it up at some point.
Are you gonna be here after school?
Yes, as long as you don't need me and you just want to take it, I will be. I mean, I'm supposed to do a PLT, so technically I have to do that, but if you don't need.
It's gonna take a while.
All right, so while she's doing that, where I put the paper so I can call the answers. I've lost it. There it is. All right, so number 2. Carbon
Oh, listen on that.
monoxide. So you have to put a prefix on that second element. You can't just say carbon oxide.
Wait,
Okay.
that's-
All right, y'all are all number 1 again. You lost number 1. I didn't assign number 1, but if you did, it's carbon dioxide for number 1, for those of you who are still on number 1. What about the 5 from the board? All right, so number 2, which is the one I assigned, carbon monoxide. All right, several people yesterday in 4th period wrote carbon oxide. Remember, you have to put the mono on that second element. It has to have a prefix.
Yeah.
All right, so number 3, sulfur dioxide. 4, sulfur trioxide. Number 5, di-nitrogen monoxide. Number 6,
Oh, get that.
nitrogen monoxide. 7, dinitrogen trioxide. 8, nitrogen dioxide. 9, dinitrogen tetraoxide. 10, dinitrogen pentaoxide. 11, phosphorus trichloride. And 12, phosphorus pentachloride.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so what do we need to work on? What do we have questions on?
What was 89?
Okay, so pick something up. What?
What was 89?
8 and 9. So 8 is NO2, so nitrogen dioxide. 9 is dinitrogen tetraoxide.
You already know how
I'll let
organized
you
I
go
am.
ahead.
Very
You know, Ms. Wall, I think I'm gonna take this L.
Okay, well, never mind, I'm gonna go. Like, for number.
It was in the notes yesterday. Wasn't?
Yeah,
we did. I
do.
didn't take
It'd be what?
So it doesn't matter if it's the blue sheet, doesn't have 5.
No, it does not.
Oh, okay.
It does not.
Okay.
So we don't have to look at anything for the,
For the prefixes, no, you don't have to look at anything on the blue sheet.
and you don't switch anything.
You don't switch anything, no.
It's just what's.
It's just what's beside it. Yes.
Oh, I was talking about stock.
Now, stop. You are gonna switch, and yes, it still doesn't matter what's on the blue sheet.
Oh, it doesn't?
It does not. Remember, it's not the Holy Grail. It's just a common oxidation number. So if it's not on there, you still use what's in the formula.
So
All
you
right.
don't have to look, so
So you don't have to.
for the stock, the new system.
Remember, all of those are gonna have oxidation numbers, and they're all gonna have Roman numerals because we're all covalent. So you technically don't have to look at the blue sheet because they're all gonna have Roman numerals. Yes. Yes. Going to you say something?
No, that's it.
Okay. So pick some. Even pick something on there you want me to work on.
14.
14. 14 was not even what I assigned, but we can do it. So SCl6. All right. So what's S's name? Okay. What is chlorine's name?
Chloride.
And why do we add IDE to the end? It's binary. All right. Now, we need a Roman numeral because it's covalent. But if you weren't sure, look up sulfur on your sheet. How many does it have besides sulfur? Because remember, these are going to be mixed up. So like I just told Alexa a minute ago, all the covalents are going to need some. But if these are mixed up, you're not going to know that perhaps that it's going to need one. So when you look it up and you see, okay, it's got 4 numbers out there, you're going to know, okay, 4 numbers, I need a Roman numeral. Now, the first thing I need to check is, was it reduced? So look up chlorine's oxidation number. Chlorine has a -1. What number is right there? So it started as a 1 and it's still a 1. So was it reduced?
No.
No. So what number came from the sulfur? So Roman numeral 6 is what I'm putting there. And that's the stock system. Now, the flip side of that is, if you have something like N2O or NO2, okay, you've got to figure out where they reduced. And these are the ones that cause more issues for people in figuring out where they reduced. So when you go to write their names, both of them are nitrogen and oxide. Fabulous. I'll be right there.
I don't know which ones they are.
Of course not.
Is it these? Some of that too. I don't know.
They don't look familiar to me.
Well, I guess
Let me see yours.
that's fine.
CI4, PCl3, SO2. No, these are not the same compounds.
Okay, fine.
How about we call it a 90 and call it a day?
Yes. I don't
So
know.
it's
I probably.
clearly you need some organizational help over there. For
Today
somebody with all those
was not
sticky,
my morning.
for somebody
Oh
with
wait, I
all
found
those,
them.
Oh.
well, at least I didn't write it down in ink.
Another right here.
There you go.
Quick.
Right.
You searched that
Wait, were you about to
twice
register?
on the 3rd time.
No, I just had ink in my hands. I couldn't find my pen.
No, like, were you about to like make the professional video in your organization?
Yeah, her organizational skills are terrible. For somebody who has all those sticky notes and prides herself on holding up all those sticky notes, look, Miss Wall, look what I got going over here. And you hand me a sticky note that's got compounds that are wrong, like you've got homework. All right, so We know we're gonna need Roman numerals, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, when you're doing this, have they been reduced? So you look up the second element, right? So you look up O. O has a -2. Well, what do you see right there? So was it reduced there?
No.
No. So what number came from N right there? 1. Well, you put the 1 there. Now, if you're Tashan and you looked up N is 1 on the oxidation sheet. Look up nitrogen. Yeah, it doesn't have a 1 on the sheet. Don't worry about it, okay? Because this formula has 1 right here. You write the 1 there. Don't worry that 1's not written on the blue card. It's okay. Just write the 1 because that's what's in the formula.
So that doesn't matter?
No.
That got me confused.
Yeah, don't worry about that. The common ones are the ones that are on the blue card. They're not the only oxidation numbers. They're just the most common. Okay? Okay? So like in this one, what's the oxidation number on O here?
2.
Still a 2. But when you look here, is the 2 there this time? So that tells you what? It was reduced. This time we need to figure out what it was. So what did I tell y'all to do? Right. So N has what on it? This was a 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So what number came from the N? So put a 4 there to figure out the Roman numeral.
Okay,
How do we
question.
Hold on. How do we know?
know if- like,
That's what we're talking about right now. If there's an oxidation number of a 2 right there, and it's not right here, then it was reduced. You have to look to see if that 2 is in the right spot in the formula. So like here, there's an oxidation number of 2, but what's right here? The 2 is there. It's in the correct spot in the formula. Okay? Daniela.
Okay, so the stock system is the one that has the Roman numeral.
Yes. And it's the newest system.
What's so funny? That's a genuine-
We had a whole discussion about that before you came in.
Just clarifying.
Yes. So, and we're going to practice for a little bit, not a ton of time. All right. But, so when you're practicing in a minute, and you've got compounds like ALI3, CO2, AS2O5, MnClO3, 7, and you're going to write their names. Okay. How can you decide if you could use the prefixes since you like the prefixes? The first thing you need to decide is, are they ionic or are they covalent? All right, so when you're looking at these, this is a what?
Metal.
As soon as you can tell me that's a metal, no prefixes. What can you tell me about those?
Covalent.
How'd you know they were covalent?
Carbon.
Because some people are looking at you going, I don't know how you knew that.
And
Some people know what you're talking about, but some folks are looking at it going, I don't know what he's talking about.
Down the right side.
Okay, so you're looking up there going, they're all what up there? They're all non-metals, okay? They're all non-metals. That's how Tasha knew they were covalent. Now, those of you who still don't know that, y'all are behind, okay? So you need to get that somehow in your brain. Some of you, I will still be yelling at you 9 weeks in. That's why Emma's like, I can still hear her yelling at people in the chorus room. That's why I'm yelling at y'all 9 weeks into the semester. You should not have me yelling at you because you don't know where the nonmetals are on the periodic table in a chemistry class, okay? So when you look at AS2O5, what do you know about AS and O? It's covalent. So, both of these, because you said they were covalent, you can use either system. And I would take it either way. You choose. But what can you tell me about Mn? It's a metal. So as soon as you know it's a metal, you cannot use a prefix. So the first one and the last one, you are stuck with what system? Stock. Okay? But you have to make those choices and it has to process through your brain before you go, oh, aluminum triiodide. As soon as you write that, -2 on the test. Okay? You got me? Some of you will do that.
Ionic
Oh, man, he ain't talking about.
Hopefully not very many of you, because then I'll be suicidal before I leave for the weekend.
Oh, no. Don't put so much stress on that.
It's just, I don't know.
Alright, so I want you to write the names of their formulas.
Want me to not do this
I
one?
know most persons don't.
Take it behind me, we didn't make it. Well, I didn't have
Alright, and they're mixed up. Some are covalent. Most of them are gonna be ionic. So out of, let me see, out of 20,
What's your number 20 at?
sorry, 19. Apparently I couldn't get them all on the same page, so I chopped one off.
It's like,
Out of 19, there are 5 that are covalent. In a quick scan, I saw 5.
Can we do all our stuff?
You can always do stock. Stock is right for both sets.
I only was like,
Yes. There is one on the test, if I remember right, that I've told you have to do an old system. A grand total of 1
you have to do it what?
with old system, with the prefixes. I will take stock on everything, except one question on the test. So that's a 2-point question.
So you tell us.
On everything on the test, you may choose any system, you can do stock on everything, except for one question on the test that I said you had to do in the old system.
So you're in class with
No, you can, you may choose on the test, but most of the compounds have what at the front of them. Look at the periodic table. What's the blue up there? So the vast majority of compounds have what at the beginning of them. So most of the naming you will have to do will have to be in what system? Stock. So that's why I say you can do stock with everything. So if it were me, I would do stock. But there are some you can just go ahead and do old system, and some people will do that. But there's only one on the test that I'm telling you, you have to do an old system just because it's part of the curriculum. But beyond that, you can do everything in stock. Anybody have a question? All right, so now you need to, out here to the side, crisscross your oxidation numbers and write a final answer. Okay, don't leave them hanging up there. So equals, and what do you get when you crisscross it? And when you bring the 1 down, where's the 1 going to be? Okay, now rewrite it exactly where those numbers are.
And you know, that might be a very beneficial thing.
I think so.
Perfect. Do the next one just like it. Yes, I'll just grab the pencil. Because apparently I've lost mine somewhere.
We put the -1 on the outside of this.
Yes, you do. That way you've got it to crisscross. Yep, no, that's separate. So iodate is this.
So if it ends in
Remember, this column is this stuff. These go that. That's what I'm telling you. Those go together. Those go together. Okay? This column is for this. These two have nothing to do with others.
Yeah, no, I did. It's just what I'm trying to say is,
No, iodate is this thing on this side. Okay? Iodide, if you want, look here. Iodide is that. Okay? Good. Keep going. What you got? So, look up the elements or other oxidation numbers down so I can see crisscross. You put iodide, not iodate. Iodate is, yeah. And look here, that is sulfate. You can use sulfide. You see that? It's going to be on this side. Here it says I need It's gonna look like this. You see how it says item date? It's gonna be over here. Item date is that. Yes. Yes. It is. It's a little sloppy, but beyond that, it's correct. Yes, it's a polytomic. Anything you get off this side, put it in parentheses.
You do, so we don't have to.
That is correct. I'll be right there, hang on. Good. Mm-hmm.
So do we put the 2 right here? Okay.
Yes, you write the 2 at the top.
Then you push.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, so see how it says ATE? Find it over here. Yes. See how it says sulfur dioxide? That's prefix system making. You will not look up an oxidation number. What prefix does this have right here? Yeah, you won't use any crisscrossing, you won't use any kind of anything. It just means the subscript is 1, that means there's 2. Yeah. I'm gonna go roll that now, and just get you some homework to raise your average. Okay, see how you had a 3 there and a 2 there? You had a 2 here and a 3 here. See how when you rewrote that, you got a 6? Where'd the 6 come from? Did you just bring something down from somewhere else?
Yeah.
Don't do that, okay? Keep your 2 that's right here and rewrite it where it was, and the 3, rewrite it where it was. So you got a 2 right here on the CR, so put the 2 on the CR. And put the 3 right there on the SO4, right back on that SO4. Now it's correct. Okay? I'll be multiplying numbers. Just thinking, go back up here. This, you got off the polyatomic ion side. Parentheses in. Without the parentheses, it's not right. The only time you can leave off the parentheses if that's a 1. This is old system name, right? Got prefix on it. No oxidation numbers, no crisscrossing. What prefix is on the S? So you just write S with a 1. Di is 2. Same thing. Remember, your Chris got oxidation numbers there, but you don't have any subscripts without them. Not in it. I mean, you got the numbers right, you just didn't do anything.
Forget.
We'll put it back in and do something. Okay. Yeah, the 401. Yeah, you got the numbers right, you just didn't do anything wrong.
Oh.
Yes. And why do you have a Roman numeral there? I don't either. How many numbers does magnesium have?
Forget to check.
Yeah. I don't mark it wrong on the test. 2 points in my column. All right, number 11, you did something stupid. Here's your blue chart and see what MG's name is.
Magnesium.
Yep.
Manganese.
Yep.
Is that the only thing?
No, this is just as far as I got. You're okay up to that point.
Oh, and I did it right.
All right, I'll take that's Roman numeral because you don't have manganese, so you don't have 7 oxidation numbers in it. All right. Yep, you're good. When you come back to this, this is old system name. Everybody needs to crisscross there. But you don't. All right, what prefix do you have on this? How many codes do you have?
Two.
Yeah, you don't, right, you don't crisscross. Yes. You done? Really? Look at what you have written here and what you wrote there.
Are you okay?
Yeah, but I had taken 2 points off of that on the test. I just marked it wrong. You can't just change the letters.
Will we reduce for number 9?
Remember which one?
9.
Yes. Yes, those are right. I mean, just don't do that stupid stuff. I mean, because you're gonna get mad. If you had A on the test, it drops you to a B or something, because you just up and changed the letters, the elements letters. Yes. You have it right. Mhm. Yep. You got the right answer, but we did it wrong. The answer's right.
How did we do that?
All of it.
But it makes sense. No, it doesn't.
The answer's right.
No,
Processes.
no.
It's old system name.
Are you supposed to reduce it, right?
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, no. That's wrong.
It doesn't.
Okay. I don't know.
You just go like. No, you're goes right.
How did you recognize it?
Alright, but you have to do the
It's old system name. So there's no prefix, so it's S1.
Oh.
Nine means there's 2 O's, so it's 2.
I'm good on stuff.
So you're trying to crisscross,
By you.
which is stop system.
Not it.
But it's written old system, so you don't do any of
I
that
haven't had my period in like
or any of that.
so they got me.
See the Roman numerals? That's when you crisscross.
It's almost a year.
You don't do any crisscrossing, you just got the prefixes. That's what tells you it's old system there.
Okay, I understand that part.
Yeah, so the prefixes tell you the subscript, so there's no crisscross.
So there's no question.
No.
So then I just write O two
Yep,
and so for.
because there's no prefix, it's just a 1. Yeah, you don't even need that blue card.
Oh, we need that blue card.
Not for that one. You need the blue card for all the rest of them, just not 5.
And so for his.
Yep. You need the blue card for the rest of them, just not number 5.
So without the prefix, I technically don't need.
Nope. Yes, my dear. Number 9, 10, 2, oxide. So you got 2 2s, what happens to the 2 2s? So you got SLO? Yeah. Other than that ending,
Always
which
do
one
that.
it cost you? 2 points.
I take it.
What you're expecting next week.
Alright, this one, how many oxidation numbers does it have? So you don't need Roman numbers, just ammonium sulfate. Otherwise, you're good. Alright,
Can we go down to 12?
Oh, wait, never mind, you reduced.
Yep.
Already did it, but I got.
shush, I'm checking again.
Thank you.
You got us correct. Which one do you have a question on? That's correct.
Because I know it's die.
Yeah, so there need to have two O's.
So it's just die something. Just
Yes, everything you have is correct. All right, if you have not finished what you're working on, I want you to finish that homework. Okay? Several of you are done. All right, but I want those of you who have not finished, because some of you are only half done, I want you to have an opportunity to finish that homework. Okay? Those of you who are done, then of course you don't have to do any naming homework.
I put nice.
Number 9. Is that right? How you write it out?
Wow.
So have two.
Every-
So what's going to happen to those two twos?
You won't cross with you.
They will cross, but what's going to happen to them when they cross?
No,
Well,
you
not
won't.
gonna lie. You won't stop telling me that?
I can't. So you got to see what was it first?
Then you're going to cancel out. So you just
So
going
just
to
SNO.
SNO. All right.
Oh.
If you will, find your notes. You're going to need a periodic table this time. So find your periodic tables. Tables.
Which other one?
We're going to do some math.
Which other one?
So what?
Which other one?
Is she referring like to the class in general?
Yes.
Oh.
There's multiples of y'all.
Make it a plural now.
You only have one, but I have multiples. All right, we're going to do some math most of tomorrow after the quiz. We'll review a little bit on Friday, or sorry, Thursday, and then we're going to start talking about some other math, and then we're going to test on Friday because we're on target to test Friday where I thought we would be. Okay, so if you're not here Friday, of course, test will be sometime next week for you whenever you can make it up. So we're going to talk formula mass. We are a little more sophisticated than we were I guess it was last week. We talked about, what was the week before? We talked about atomic mass. So what was atomic mass again? Y'all better not tell me you don't know.
Oh. Atomic mass is the number of protons. No, the atomic number minus.
Atomic mass is oh my god, how do I word this? It's the abundance and like you multiply and add and divide by 100 and
I need y'all to start taking them collection.
oh
So I can buy some out.
Well, what is
It tells the number. It tells the number. It tells the number.
I know. Romney, I need you to start researching some I'm not retired from the state of North Carolina.
Oh, the number of neutrons.
Y'all can't even tell me what atomic mass is, and today is day 16.
The number
The number of
of
neutrons.
Yeah, y'all have been telling me y'all had a crappy science experience. I would not put myself in the crappy category, but clearly I'm not exceptional. Y'all can't even tell me what atomic mass is anymore.
That's all we just suck.
The number of neutrons.
And protons and neutrons in an atom. Okay? So essentially, atomic mass, just to water it down slightly, is the mass of an element, which we should remember is the protons and the neutrons after much work. Okay? Now, we want to talk about formula mass today. So, if we think logically, can you give me a guess as to what you think formula mass might be?
The same as atomic mass.
The
Can you
mass,
expand on that?
is it the atomic mass of the chemicals in a chemical formula that we
I can live with that. Okay?
The atomic mass of molecules in
Okay.
object.
See, there's hope for us yet. All right, so the formula mass. All right, the formula mass is the mass of all the elements
Emma, we're supposed to read chapter 6 and chapter 30 US.
Yeah.
in a chemical compound. Now, the only downside to this is there are multiple names for this. I just chose to call it formula mass for the title. But some books, some websites call it many other things. So, it's also called molar mass.
I knew it. I was about to say it.
That's the hindsight bias guy.
It's also called molecular mass.
I knew it. No, I'm like that serious. Like I know that.
Okay.
I have even seen gram formula weight. So if you see any type of variety that falls in that general category, you should just assume that it's the same thing. Okay? But this is probably one of the easiest calculations we will do all year long. The biggest mistake that's made is usually on the calculator or in counting the atoms. Okay? It's usually a math error because most people have no difficulty with the process.
On a better side note, my grade is no longer 32 in English.
That is fabulous.
Oh, mine.
I know this is a really dumb question, but why was it a 32 in English?
Just put a 0 for my vocab test.
Oh,
But I got 98 on it. So
I'm glad to hear that.
You know, what do you have though?
97. I'm
I had
alright.
23. It's like
Half perfect.
Yeah, bro, say.
All right, we caught up?
Oh, one
Now
time
I'm
I had a
94.
2 and 8.
Wow.
Look at us.
That class is pretty, I think I had back grade. One time I actually was a 2. AP were-
All right. So let's say that we want to find the formula mass of manganese 5 carbonate. Now, what 2 pieces of information do we need to find its formula mass?
manganese and carbon.
I'm thinking more generic. No, not quite that. What 2 things are we going to need about the compounds?
They're
They're what? Not their atomic number, their atomic mass, okay? So we need to find the atomic mass. I told you to think generic. Okay, so we need to find the atomic mass. We need to know one more thing. Okay, so we need to find the atomic mass, and we need something else. What else are we going to need to know besides the atomic mass? Come on, we only have 6 minutes. Think fast.
Oh crap.
add it
Together,
together.
guys.
We're going to add together. We need something else though before we can do that. The number of something else.
Number of.
Protons.
Number of
Neutrons.
what?
Add it.
The number of each atom. Okay?
Yeah.
The number of each atom. Okay? That's the 2 pieces of information we need. So, how many different elements do I have up here?
3.
Okay. So, we're going to break it apart. So, we have Mn, we have C, and we have O. So, how many Mn's do I have in the formula since we need to know the number of each element?
2.
Okay? How many carbons do I have?
5.
Okay, that's where the parentheses come in. They multiply and distribute. So this 5 goes here and here. So how many carbons do you have?
15.
25.
Oh, carbons. Oh, I didn't know oxygens.
There are 5 carbons.
I thought we been skipped that and then
No. How many oxygens do we have?
15.
5. You're so fun.
This is why I don't teach math.
15.
5 times 3 in most people's world is 15. I realize y'all don't have calculators, but 5 times 3 is 15.
I already said 15.
No.
Now, the second piece of information we need is the atomic mass, which is why I said to get out your periodic table. So, if you have your periodic table handy, what is manganese's atomic mass?
54.94.
All right, so 54.94.
Care.
All right, carbon's is
12.01.
Well, you want this in.
She's interviewed me.
and oxygen is
16.0. Are you gonna? Oh my gosh, I can't talk.
now. What do you suppose we're going to do with those three numbers that we just got?
Add.
That's exactly right. We're going to add them all together. So we get 409.93. Now the beauty in formula mass is there's no significant digits because the only thing I gave you is this compound. So there was no number to start with. So what was the unit we learned for atomic mass?
Atomic mass unit.
AMU, and I heard somebody else I thought yell out in shorthand.
You.
Or U. Either unit is still acceptable. So you put that on there and you have calculated formula mass. Questions?
What?
Any questions? Now, for homework, for those of you who have none other than naming, I want you to calculate two formula masses. I would like you to do barium acetate, which is that, and I would like you to do, and I'm trying to write neat. It's hard for me, but I'm trying. So you have barium acetate and aluminum dichromate. Yeah, this is number one. And number two, you're finding formula mass. Okay, so those of you who already finished naming, you're only finding formula mass for those two. Those of you who did not finish naming have to finish naming and do the two formula mass. Okay, what is our quiz on tomorrow? It's on covalent. So there, I think, are 4 to write in stop, 3 to write in hold, and 3 to write formulas. So if you haven't learned the prefixes, learn the prefixes. Which one do you think is the most missed prefix?
The fourth.
Tetra.
What do you think people put it down as? No, they actually get the number wrong. When I write it as tetra, what do you think they write the number as? They write it as 3. I have no idea, but it happens year after year after year. And somebody actually did it in 4th period yesterday.
I did last
Ethan's like, why would they write 3? Yeah, I write 3. It's like, oh, they have breakfast pass.
Yes, my dear, you came. Anybody else need a breakfast pass? I do not know what the breakfast is.
I'm gonna get one.
I want one.
My goal is to become more organized.
That's a fantastic story.
I'm not going to get there.
Who was it that said it first, Ashaya?
Yes.
And who else said they want one?
I will take one. Please.
And was it you who said one? You want one, Ethan? Anybody else? Anybody else want breakfast? So I only need those 3?
Yes.
Okay. Come get your breakfast passes. I don't want anybody to fall out from hunger in second period.
Somebody hand me
You can
mine.
sneeze, but you can't take it.
Ethan's got it.
And then
Bring
when
it
it
to
actually like comes, when you like breathe in,
Wait.
and it'll come out, and my heart goes up.
Ethan, why you got that hat on in the building?
Every day, always in.
Oh my gosh. You said it's to say on my survey,